Architects, engineers, and people in the construction industry are all working on advancing communities in response to COVID-19. For more on that, we have Domini, a principal and senior planner at OHM Advisors. How close do you think we are to making cities safer?
Great question. A lot of good conversation happening around this, and certainly the coronavirus has got us thinking about the future to make cities safer. We're just accelerating a lot of the things that we've been talking about and implementing currently in the field of urban design and architecture. Smart cities is certainly one of those spaces that we're working to drive forward. That's really about making people connected through big data. And so the city actually knows who we are and how we move through cities, and it can respond accordingly to keep us safer.
What can architects actually do?
So one of the things we're doing is actually working on creating smart buildings. So buildings having the intelligence to know who's entering the building, who's moving around that space, and then the building responding to those folks that are moving into and through the building, locking certain doors, opening others, and directing people through that space so that it keeps them safer and away from other populations. If you're a vulnerable population, the building may respond and direct you one way. Also, touchless sensors, so you're not pressing the elevator button. Things like that are all getting programmed into the buildings as we speak.
What do you think it will look like after the pandemic?
Well, that's a great question. What we thought, last week kind of looks different this week in the conversation. I don't think it's going to look a lot different than where we're at today or where we were. I think there's going to be some subtle changes that are going to work to keep us safer. HVAC system, touchless centers. I talked about the smart buildings, but I think a lot of those things may not be like out front. They'll be there, but you may not notice them as much. So a lot of us are now thinking we're going to return to a level of normalcy and have that new technology just in our space, keeping us safer.
Well, thank you so much for your time today, Aaron.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
More Business First AM. Check us out on social media. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.